Let us start with the function, the new concept on functions, user-defined functions. User-defined function is a function defined by the user to solve the problem, particular problem. Such a function can be called or can be invoked from anywhere and any number of times in the program. The purpose of using a function is to make the program design process easy, understandable, and thereby avoiding ambiguity. So what are the different advantages of user-defined functions? If there is set of statements to be repeated several times in the program, these statements can be replaced as a function and can be called whenever required. If a task is needed more than once in a program or to a group of programmers, a function can be developed and made available to other programs or other programmers. Even programs can be modularized into functions. Each function can be developed independently, debugged, and tested. If a problem is divided into sub-problems, a team of programmers can be formed to solve each sub-problem rather solving by a single person. If functions are developed in a program, the number of lines decreases. It removes redundant code. That's why the user-defined functions are very much essential. So what is function definition or structure of user-defined function? First one is return type specifiers. It is the data type of the value written by the function to another function when it is called. It can be char, int, float, or anything. Data type, that is void. Even it can be void. Data type void is used when the function return no value to calling function. Function name is the name of the function. It is an identifier to identify the particular function in a program. Argument list with declaration. It is the list of arguments or parameters or variables with their declaration. Each argument should be declared separately. Each declaration should be separated by the comma. The list should be enclosed within parentheses. The complete line is called the function header. Note that there is no semicolon at the end. Local variable declaration. It is a declaration of the variables that are used within the function. Since these variables are local to the function, these variables are called as local variables. Executable statements. These are the statements that perform the necessary operations to solve the problem. If the function is returning a value, a written statement should be included. Otherwise, written statement is not necessary. Local declaration and executable statements are together called as body of the function. So the body of the function should be enclosed within the curled braces. So to find the greatest of three numbers, a simple program is there. I have declared int function prototype, int biggest, int comma int comma int. So see out, you are entering the three numbers a, b, c. All those three values are read into the variable a, b, c. Next, you are calling a function called biggest and you are passing those values a, b, c. And you are making this function will return a value. That value is stored in big and you're printing the big in main function. So here is the calling function. Return type, function name, argument list. X, Y, Z are the variables of type integer. There are three arguments. So all A, B, C will have X, Y, Z. A, B, C values will be there in X, Y, Z. So first I will declare one variable called big. So I will do this. If X is greater than Y, this statement is executed. So you already know that if this condition is true, this statement will be executed. If the condition is false, this will be executed. So now if x is greater than y, if it is true, this will be executed and it will return the value. Or else it will return, here it will be executed and return the big. So return big, that big value will be stored and it will be returned to the called function. So calling the definition of the program can come either before the main or after the main. Calling function is a function that transfers control from it to another function by specifying the name of that function and passing arguments. Called function is a function that receives the call and arguments from another calling function. So function call is a statement that is used to call or make another function execute. When a function call is made, the control jumps calling function to the called function. The general form of function is function name argument list or function name without any argument also you can have. That is, this is returning the value. If this function returns the value, then that will be stored in variable. The general form of main function is executable statements, say int main, executable statements return 0. So void main executable statements. Function prototype is a declaration of the function that tells the program about the type of the value returned by the function and the number and type of arguments. So what is type of argument is, it's nothing but a variable in a function header that is called an argument. The arguments are used to pass information from the calling function to the called function. So actual arguments, that is the function call statement contains name of the function and the list of arguments to be passed. So these arguments or parameters are called as actual arguments. So these arguments can be constants, variables, or expressions. So calling a function biggest ABC, so it will return the value big. Put formal arguments. The function header contains return text specifier, function name, and list of arguments with their declaration. So these arguments are called as formal arguments or dummy arguments. So formal arguments get their values from the actual arguments. So local variables are declared inside the function or block is used, it's said belong to that block. These variables are called as local variables. They will be local to that function. So values of local variables are accessible only in that block. The function's formal arguments are also considered as local variables. Global means it will be declared outside the function. So these variables are referred as the same data type and same name throughout the program in both calling as well as called function. Whenever if some variables are to be treated as same value in both main and in other function, it is advisable to use global variables. So to find the LCM of two numbers are written in small function. You can see here, there are two header files, string.h and connector.h as usual. Here A, B are global variables. Here R is local variable. While B is not equal to 0, do this action. So what it does? It find the A modulus B that will be stored in R. Then A will be assigned to B. That is B is assigned to A. And then R is assigned to B. So return A. In main function, that is actually the function. So now in main function prototype, that is integer product LCM. Now enter two numbers. User will enter two numbers A and B. values that will be stored into the that will be read into the variable C and B. We'll get the product of that and then GCD of that. So product by G is nothing but LCM. So here G is stored, GCD of AB is stored in G. That will be saved in LCM variable. So GCD is G where LCM is LCM. The value is stored in that and it will be printed. This is about the user-defined functions, what we discussed today. So thanks for watching. For more videos, you can subscribe to our channel. And also you can, if there are any queries, you can also write to us.